brother Jason. I haven't seen you mount so much since you haven't needed to bum on our couch.
Yeah, oh yeah, hey, how you doing?
Been good. Hope you like meatballs.
Okay, yeah, smells good. I started filming some random stuff.
meatballs, and between about 10 people, most of them will have 2, maybe some will have 3. That should be enough for everyone.
Great.
And if not, then I'll know for next time. See, that kind of cramped a little, some of them are kind of bunched on the top, but that's okay. They'll get equally boiled. Leave this on heat until bubbles, so about 10 minutes, then turn it on low.
Be careful what you wish for. I'm bringing this to Pill Track.
My name is Steve Durline. I am from Perry, Ohio. We have a nuclear power plant. It's our claim to fame. Now I reside in the beautiful Cleveland Heights, Ohio. And it's tucked 15 or so minutes from downtown Cleveland. So sometimes I just hop on an Uber, go downtown. It's like 10 bucks. And gotta love it. Right now my life consists of shooting cars all day long. I've been doing that for about 2.5 years. For a local dealership down the road. So I live here and I work here. And so I pretty much shoot cars all day to get by, and by shooting, I don't mean I literally shoot them. I'm the photographer for the car dealership. I don't know, this life is good. Some little hiccups in it, but as long as you kind of keep some sort of, just keep going, keep trucking, and kind of to do what you love to do. It's kind of hard figuring out, I guess, what you're supposed to be doing, per se, but you can just do it, don't fall. I've been playing drums for probably 20 years now. I'm 29 now, and so December I'll be 30. And it's pretty crazy. I've been playing with a lot of different people. I actually play with with Jace. I played in a band with you in college. And, you know, I've had so much fun. I've played with a lot of different awesome musicians, opened up for some cool bands. And right now I am in a really awesome band called New Moon Rising. Been with these guys for about 2 years, and we played a bunch of shows all over the place, all over Cleveland mainly. And we were just at the Hard Rock Cafe. We were part of the Hard Rock Rising competition.
New Moon Rising! Give a round of applause!
Thank you so much.
But anyways, yeah, I always tell people it's a mix between Neil Young, Pink Floyd, Sublime. It's pretty chill, sometimes folky, sometimes jammy, alternative music. And in the past 2 years, we've kind of carved out a little niche in this Cleveland scene that we got going on here. And speaking of that, it's an amazing scene. Oh, strap your phone, Jace. This scene that we got going on here right now, like all of us go to each other's shows, we support it. Actually, we're sitting right by the Grog Shop. I played that venue right there at the end of February for our EP release show. I was there. I was just there Thursday. Last night I was at the Beachland Ballroom, another fine establishment in Cleveland. And but I mean, okay, I do have goals. I mean, I would love to, like, you know, live the life that I'm living. Maybe, like, I don't know. There's you're probably doing tight shots anyways. You're not getting this microphone. I feel like this is a type of shot that they would have on a on like The Bachelor or The Bachelorette, where like they're down to the last two and they're making their decision. This is like the thinking thought, where it's just the shot is locked off and they're just looking off in the distance. Door's locked.
And it's going to be, hopefully I'll be out there with the missus and we'll be checking it out. Hey,
Good for
quick
you.
Time out.
Oh, my pretty ladies. Anything else? I love this area. We play, there's a little section over here. Our band, they had us play for a couple hours past couple summers. And my work is really cool with it. They'll let me just leave, like I'll come in early and then I clock out and leave and play downtown for a couple hours right in this spot. Right, like I'm playing drums and the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame is right there. It's like, it's really cool to kind of think about it a little bit. It's so cool to have those friends that you can reconnect with now and hang out and do this project, this amazing project you guys are doing. So hats off to you guys for doing that. And it's kind of a, so that being said, like we all pretty much graduated college around the same time, which is like 2009, 2010, and that was a time there weren't many jobs, and it was kind of like a situation where you either have a degree and you don't have experience, or you have experience and you have no degree, and it's kind of a struggle. So for me, like right after graduation, I was trying to find different jobs, just had sales jobs, you know, I was in bands and stuff like that. But nothing really. I tried to break into the Cleveland media scene, whether that was like the news channel, just run the boards, the radio station, whatnot. And it's kind of just hard when you're blindly just sending in, you know, resume. And you almost need to know somebody, and you know, that knows you work well. So, but right now, you know, I'm enjoying it. You know, and down the road, I don't know down the road. Right now, I'm living in the moment of having this job that I live pretty much 5 minutes away from my job. My band plays out, you know, in the summer we might even play once a week, whether it's downtown or, so that's kind of where I'm at 29 years old in my life right now. Yeah. A lot of bird poop around here though.
Natural.
Even recording, I thought I heard. Those are nice sunglasses for the camera.
Yeah, I couldn't find them for a while, and I found them in my room, so like, definitely gonna put these on. So these are my eyes. I was like, no way I'm gonna go do this project without sunglasses. So I'm glad it's not like, I don't look like an asshole, it's rainy and I got sunglasses on. No, it was raining earlier.
That's great. I don't know if this building over here is pretty cool.
Pretty peaceful. I guess you could rent, this little stand, you can rent these paddle boats. I wouldn't mind just hopping one in. I'm going across the river right now. Hopefully it's not some sort of security.
Does it look like it might be?
What?
Does it look like it might be?
No. I think it was some... Actually, yeah, it does.
For us?
Robert Birch is a professional artist. He works in glass, metal, paint, and other materials. His art extends beyond traditional forms as he experiments and collaborates with different people across the globe. He's active in recreational activities such as rock climbing, skiing, snowboarding, skating, and surfing, among others. He often attends motorcycle rallies and tours the country. And he's built a tiny house. How much of your life is your art? And how much of your art is your life?
It's a trip to make this thing. Yeah, it's just like it's those kids that hop trains, you know. Just I don't know. There's just so many different varieties of life, and yeah. And this sort of ties in more with like being a career artist in the 21st century now, because everything can be documented so easily. I think how you live your life means as much as the art that you make, more or less. Like David Cho is a good example. He's like, you know, this badass graffiti artist, but he's insane. Like he's down there like riding tanks in Iraq and like you know, banging porn stars and like all this crazy stuff. So it's like his artwork's cool, but his life is cool too. It's just like Hunter S. Thompson. Like his life as a composition is so crazy, and then his writing is good too. So to like have those two things like go together is very important. I think that's why, you know,
definitely
spend time climbing up rocks or trying to whatever, go backcountry snowboarding, things like that. Like, because you can't have crazy art, I don't think, and be like a boring person. Like you can be brilliant in your own mind, and then like your work will sort of speak for itself in that way. But I think it's more because you know, a rock star is an entertainer. Like, let's not like beat around the bush. Like, you're entertaining people, and why wouldn't your artwork's entertaining people too? But I think your life, because you have more freedom, ultimately entertains people in the same way.
So in a lot of ways, your life becomes the art piece, and the things that you make or do or become like the relics that you leave behind.
Fucking deep. That's awesome.
Nice. Yeah.
Totally.
Yeah, that's a beautiful way to look at it. I think that's exactly what we're looking for as far as what freelancers are today. I think or have always been, like the beatnik generation, or
Totally.
Just like nomadic people and vagabonds, you know, like people that are trying to make statements, like Banksy and said David Cho. Those are all good people that I look up to too, as well. So.
Yeah, it's romanticizing it. Like, you know, the beatniks, like, yeah, man, they're just fucking driving around, like, doing speed, like, but it's romanticized in a way, which you guys are doing too, which kind of makes it more appealing to the masses.
I think it depends on what your aesthetic is and what you want to do.
Yeah.
I think the craft is important, and so is the fine art realm, but I do think people prefer making the craft over the fine art. It's just what they want because they enjoy the fine crafted objects and stuff.
Totally. But talent is abundant, and like technical skill is abundant, but it's just like every other thing. Like skateboarding or rock climbing, you can make anyone like do it, you know, like you can train someone to make a beautiful Reddit show, but like thinking now you have the tools, like now you have the skill set, now what happens next? I think a lot of people just start spinning their wheels and making it in every color, which pigeonholes glass as like a craft-based work, whereas there's like only a few people that have broken out of that, like William Morris, like Martin Chihuly, and like Josiah, and then like Howard Bentray, you know, like those people have pushed it to another like level where a lot of glass workers haven't. So I like really admire that type of working style. So like this isn't even like, this is the stuff I'm talking about, pedestal oriented work, but I have stuff that's like 7 feet tall, and you know, like I feel like there's, you know, the more like I'm in a small room, like the bigger like space I get, and the more like, you know, like it's just gonna keep going bigger, and then like having people that care about you and like backers and stuff like that.
It's like the big fish in a big pond concept.
Yeah.
Like the bigger your environment, the larger you can work.
Totally. Yeah. So right now I'm in this small little like, you know, fishbowl, which is fine, you know, to like think about things more. But the more I work with metal, the more I'm like, dude, like there's so much. Like you can get so much crazier with this stuff, and that's why I mean Martin's, you know, undeniably like amazing at putting that stuff on the huge scale, because that is hard. It requires a lot more thinking than just popping it off the punny and flattening the bottom and sticking it on the pedestal. And like, yeah, maybe you got the fancy lines with the cane, but like, man, think bigger. So I think that's like kind of what I'm aiming towards, thinking like glass wise, and it's a rad medium, but there's a lot of rad mediums. So then I just what did I do? I went to Europe for like 4 months, skate tour, and then went up to Sweden and was doing that thing up there with Ulrika. And then I got back, and then I just drove my car here. And I taught high school here for like 8 or 9 months at that same school.
Were you sponsored a little bit for skating as well?
Yeah, I still am, kind of. Yeah. I mean, it's not like a real skateboard company. I mean, it's like, Culinar, bro. It's like, I don't know. Yeah, they flew me over to Spain, and it was like the best time. And so that happened, and then here I am.
What are your goals for the future? Are you thinking about moving to New York, you mentioned. Do you have like a 5-year plan or anything?
No, I have 2-month plans.
2-month plans? Okay.
Yeah, I wanna. There are a couple. I mean, I want to keep helping the studio here, get a little bit better. I want to go to New York because big fish, small pond, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's like Carbondale's nice, and everyone like, you can be the best with very little effort. It's like the recreation lifestyle is what's big here. You know, that's what's most important. And there's no sense of social service to that. Like,
Mm-hmm.
it's inherently selfish. Sort of like being a career artist. Like, in a way, it's inherently selfish. So, you know, finding social service type things to do, I think, is more important. 2-month plans, man. Like, go to Seattle, come back, do a show here, and then like go to New York and like check it out.
Sweet.
And go from there. Yeah, moving this isn't an ordeal, but it's tight. Not paying rent is. No, I think it's more of just a composition because like they're the same people in this repeatedly. Like my friends, like Duncan, he's like my best friend. There's a picture of him being like when we went to high school together, like so young. Like, you know, he's like, you know, we're like 15, 16, and then at the very end it's still like the same people in it, and then he's like whatever 25 now. So it's just like watching all these people you don't really know grow up through this book. You know, if people actually paid attention enough through it, I think that would be, you know, this is just like a single piece of work. But it was really like hard to go through like thousands of pictures, and I'm pretty meticulous with keeping track of them. But, you know, having like a hard drive crash and like losing all these like memories sucked. So I wanted also to have it just like in hard copy form because, you know, when the electricity goes out for the whole world, we'll be out of luck.
That's cool. That's a lot along the same lines or similar lines of what we're trying to do.
Like check back in with people
yeah.
as they get older.
Well, that but just document a lot of our like travels and different places that we go and try to bring like the reality of how people are living.
You can see more of Robert's work on his website, robertbirchllc.com.
The family, the Johnson family, we've been here for now 20 years, and now we kind of hit a new chapter, which we're really excited about. We're just now starting to really diversify and like really plant roots in a really meaningful way.
This is Cedar Ridge Ranch.
Cedar Ridge Ranch.
And Merrill Family Farms.
Merrill's Family Farm.
Is what you're doing on Cedar Ridge Ranch?
Yep. And then we have Zach with Cedar Ridge Permaculture.
Okay, Cedar Ridge Permaculture.
Yep. So, yeah, the farm is really diversified, and we're just trying, well, not just trying, we are supporting young farmers and their passions and their dreams to provide local food and to create more of a sustaining community and how do I say, like more regenerative ecosystems and environments for us to all kind of live in and enjoy, with a whole bunch of different, you know, with a lot of values as a foundation. One of our biggest values is family and community, and our family just keeps on growing, which is really wonderful because we all are connected and we all are one. And so if we can see that in each other and meet each other with compassion, we can make a lot of wonderful changes in the world. So.
Let's see what we got. They're usually not as active in the morning just because it's colder.
Yeah, like more whole systems, like natural whole systems, integrating, you know, the lay of the land, the water, the animals, the plants, you know, basically just creating our own little ecosystem in this place. You know, basically just based on the permaculture principles and the values that it holds of, you know, giving back to the land, you know, creating habitats for the animals, and anything that we get in return, it's like, that's the bonus. Especially in the early stages as these systems are growing, you know, there's, you know, your early trees only producing a couple fruit, and then, you know, 10 years from now it'll be a tree that's producing a lot more fruit. So just, you know, in these early years, it's really just about giving and not really, you know, wanting anything in return. And it just, sometimes it happens, and when it does, it's like you hold that piece of fruit, or, you know, you eat that carrot, and, you know, when you know where it came from and the love that went into it, it just creates, you know, the whole experience. And so, you know, the vision for the future is to be able to share that with other people, you know, share it with the community, and just keep moving forward, keep learning, and just keep, you know, having an open mind is really what it's about.
I think in the future, you know, we would love to have some more farm stays where people can actually come onto the property and stay on the farm and, you know, partake in morning rituals of, you know, collecting eggs or moving cows, or going out and helping the gardeners pick, you know, do their CSA boxes or pick fresh fruits and vegetables that day, and really being able to integrate into a system and realize that we can all do this, like every one of us. And there's a sense of you know, we always say, what are we supposed to do in this world? Like, what's our meaning and our purpose here? And there's like a sense of like belongingness and a sense of accomplishment, and a sense of like you're doing what's right, and that just feeds every day, and it makes you stronger and healthier of a person and happier. And happiness just is like the bonus. It just happens naturally when you kind of get involved with the ground, each other, life, you know, and you understand the life cycles, and you can connect with different animals. I mean, that's why we're here, right? So to be happy and enjoy life. So I think our idea is if we can have people come here and kind of see how this happens, and learn some skills, hone, you know, understand it, and then actually do it. Then they can take it home to their own communities and start something there, and it can keep on spreading. But the biggest way you can create change is A, be the change you want to see in the world, and that is by leading by example. Hopefully that will inspire others to do the same. So it's just a place where everyone can come, and, you know, what we do have. If people also just want to support, they can support us by buying CSA shares and coming and stay on the property, and purchasing pork and cow shares, and come riding, and board a horse, buy compost, start your own garden, vegetable garden. So there's a bunch of different ways to support us, but we would really love for you guys to come here and see how it is, and then take that home, because that's the biggest way we can create change.
Yeah, this is all compost. So this is basically, that's what it starts out as, which is all the horse bedding from the arena. Starts off as that. That's finished, but this is what we're starting to find in our compost pile. Is basically just worms galore. So you're not, now it's like turning into worm castings. But look at that, it's like everywhere, which is a really cool thing.
show that to you.
Alright.
Action! The freelancers have finally made it to San Diego, and we're here to meet Megan, Anton, and Vega. Anton and Meg care about community and sharing space with people who hold similar, positive values. Anton have a unique story, but the guiding theme is that they've decided to be in it together. While Anton gives surf lessons, Meg will blow glass, or make art, or teach yoga. They offer us a picture of living life with experience, and it's a beautiful way to live.
My last week I've done
I've
done 3 lessons in a whole week, and then 3 or 4 lessons is a 1-day gig. Like, but you know, hopefully summer comes along and it's just like
kids busy. Yeah.
Kids are busy, want to surf, get some lessons.
But it's funny, it'll like swap back and forth where maybe he's working every day and like I'm not doing anything for the whole month, and then like I'm working and then you're not. So yeah.
But when you're not doing anything, you're still doing something. You're just not getting paid for it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're
not getting paid right away. Maybe eventually someone's gonna buy that thing that you made, or you know that painting. But
or you're living with experience by taking hikes and spending time like strengthening your sport or your hobby or whatever it may be. You know, that's just as valuable as money. You know.
That's the lifestyle here. I find that like if I'm not working, I can go for a surf, I can go do the Ho Chi Minh Trail, I can put them both together, and it's just like I feel after that I'm just like I feel good again. Like it's a release. It's a good feeling. It really is. I'm stoked about it. I can take Vega to the beach, to the dog beach, off leash beach, and just go run around, just just have fun. Just really enjoy life.
I don't really know what I'm doing with this one yet. It's like my ghetto way of like stenciling. This is a hanger for scarves. Perfect stenciling. Okay, I'm gonna go.
Alright.
I'll do this one first. Wow, this is such a nice cap. The little things.
And since you guys have moved to San Diego, you've met a lot of people.
Yeah, people are super friendly here.
We've got neighbors.
You got neighbors.
Like,
you have
We have like this alleyway community out here.
And just everyone's super friendly. Everyone's just down to like, hey, let's go for a surf. Let's go get a beer. Like everyone's just super excited just to like meet new faces and just do new stuff and just.
A
keep
lot of
going.
them aren't from here either, so
Yeah.
I think that also adds to, I don't know, to their openness maybe.
Mm-hmm.
So now you live in San Diego.
Yes.
And Anton, you're teaching surfing. Meg, you're teaching multiple things.
Everything. Yeah.
We took a road trip to go see our friends Connor and Megan getting married, or just kind of like after party. What was that really?
No, they got married in Vegas, and so we didn't know where we were gonna move from Seattle. We knew that he wanted to be close to the water. Like, I kind of needed a change to get away from Seattle. And so yeah, we went to Megan and Connor's wedding.
Seattle to Las Vegas, hung out for one day, which was more than enough in Las Vegas.
Joshua Tree to the coast, and then from San Diego up.
Fell in love with San Diego. Hung out with Mr. Carrie Sloan. He showed us around a little bit. Showed me how there's just waves all the time, and we saw a little. We didn't see that much. We were only here for like 3 or 4 days, but in that time, I was like, "This is awesome." Megan thought it was cool, I guess.
I'm here.
Yeah, you're here. Sunny every day, sunny in winter. I don't know, and there's waves. Definitely something that really. I don't know. I needed that in my life. Like that year in Seattle, kind of. It was cool. It was cool to see that side of America, that part of Seattle, and like, you know, music culture and just all that kind of stuff.
The old Astro.
I don't know, but after being here for a week and surfing like every single day, I feel like my soul is like just like replenished. We bought a van.
Astro van.
We ripped out the back seats and built a bed frame and threw this couch, or bed rather, onto it and slept in there for 1 or 2 nights.
Mind you, we slept in there and there was only like this much space between like the bed and the ceiling, so it was like sleeping in a coffin.
Yeah.
Kind of fucked.
Just so much stuff in the
Couldn't
van.
roll over very well.
No, Vega had to sleep in the front seat.
Come here.
Poor Vega.
Come on.
Oh, yeah.
Can you lie down? Down. There you go. Down.
So how long have you been here since?
Llorando en el cementerio, la vida real, esta es tu mi amor. Llorando en el cementerio. Always my darling in this life. I remember my death solution is alive. Miro al cielo y digo, este extraño lamento. Tus ojos se lo lleva el viento y en mí nace un lamento. Ojiva, yo te espero, mi cielo. Me hundo en tus dedos. Te quiero, mi
I guess the biggest end goal for us was like own our own backpackers, have a yoga retreat involved with it, have surf lessons, have surf tours, like
Or almost like not even necessarily like a backpackers, but have like this plot of land or, you know, anywhere. I'm not even sure where I want to be right now or eventually. But have like this kind of getaway healing center. Like a good community of like friends who all have these different trades. You know, sustainable garden, and yeah, go surf, you can do yoga, maybe massage, like all these different things. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, try it. Just gives it some texture.
The big sexy one, spray clay.
And then this is a texturizer too, a little bit too powdered.
Like a pump?
Erin was born and raised in Northwest Ohio. From an early age, she displayed a strong creative flair for art and self-expression. She grew up taking art classes in school and in museums, doing anything she could do to get her hands dirty. After graduation, she moved to LA to pursue what she'd now consider her true calling. Based on her strong understanding of lighting and color theory, Erin decided to attend makeup artistry school.
She ends up actually wearing.
Well, I don't know. I guess I'd always been into makeup, I guess, as a form of self-expression. And after I finished art school with a fine art degree in film photography, I was like, fuck, what the hell am I gonna do? I can't make money doing this. So then I was like, maybe I'll try and do some makeup. And then I came out here. Went to school for it. Because I thought I wanted to do like fashion makeup, but it turns out I just want to do blood and guts.
Yeah.
Which is like the complete opposite. But more, I'd say way more like what I had been like formally trained in, like as an art. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Like textures and.
Or like making stuff with your hands, like making molds and running prosthetics and sculpting.
Oh, okay.
Painting sort of like, when you're painting a prosthetic, you're painting like a 3D piece, you know? Especially working in the industry, it's cool because you meet so many people that you never would meet otherwise. And they're all, I'd say for the most part, pretty creative people.
That's good.
So they're interesting. And obviously making movies and like music videos and stuff, you meet people you really never thought you would meet.
I'll do that. We had a trend. It looks good.
I mean, not all the way, just kind of.
Like the ends?
What can you do? What can you do? What can you do?
I thought it was going to be kind of magical, and then when you get here, it's really, really not.
Exciting stuff. The exciting stuff that I discovered. Anyway, there's gotta be more.
I gotta take your shoe out. I feel weird.
Also, it's like comfy for not having it. But yeah, it's crazy, exhausting, big time. But I mean, this industry is all on like, who likes you? Unfortunately, it's not really, depending on the job, about how good you are.
Yeah.
It's about who you know. They're 100% right about that. I guess also the longer you work in this industry, the more you realize how much you hate it.
That can't be completely true.
It's not completely true. I mean, it is, like, to an extent. I mean, I'm gonna keep doing it for a while, but it's exhausting, and people are exhausting and not always super nice to each other, and that wears down on you after a while.
And do you think that's because everyone's in the same situation?
Sure.
Perhaps?
Sure.
Stuff that goes on for years.
Yeah, and after a while, you just like don't want to be around that anymore.
Yeah.
Or I feel like I should be doing something maybe that is like better for like doing good instead of just like making movies.
Yeah.
I don't know.
What are those movies? They're serving a purpose. They're entertaining and humorous.
Cool, yeah. And it's like super rewarding to see your name like scroll across the credits at the end of a movie.
Yeah.
There's like nothing. I like cried the first time I saw it. But at the same time, you kind of think like maybe what I'm doing is like kind of shallow. Superficial. I don't know. And I want to do like good in the world. I feel like that's like kind of what it's all about.
Yeah, but I think you have to think about it as like inspiration for creative minds.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
It's not.
And like,
completely
people watch that shit and people live for movies. I mean, some people do, you know?
Yeah, I know what they use in that highlighters, like, for that is like $100. It's like the pan gray. Remember she came
Oh, okay.
I can't remember.
Yeah, I think that's really
I guess if you stick around long enough with the right people and you grow together, then everyone's going to be making a little more eventually anyway.
Right. Right. You like meet certain producers and they call you for everything that they do.
Yeah.
And eventually they get bigger stuff, so you get bigger stuff.
Right, right.
It's weird. You just have to maintain relationships, I guess. Or just be cool. People just want to work with chill people.
Yeah. Don't be an asshole.
Yeah, don't be an asshole. Secret to life.
But some people, there's a lot of really successful assholes, wouldn't you say?
I know, yeah.
How does that happen?
Some people like assholes. Some people are assholes, yeah? So
Maybe it
they
takes
hire
assholes to like get stuff done.
Maybe. I don't think so.
No.
Yeah. But some people are just like also just undeniably very, very good at what they do.
Yeah.
Or they weren't assholes until they were successful. I bet that's what it is.
Yeah, that could be it.
And then they're like, everybody wants me, so I can do whatever I want. Act however.
Time to sass. Sassafras.
So much sass.
I'm not interesting, but I find it's probably like recording music where it's just better to record all the time. If you wait for everything to happen, then you're gonna have to try and repeat it. It's never the same. Boy. If it's getting too smoky and gross in here for you, let me know. Let's work outside. Or at least progress some of the stuff that's been a long time in progress, but I haven't had time. But you can film this awesome comic strip to your right. Particularly the bottom left frame. I need a pick.
Yeah.
Is that?
It's gone.
Okay.
I'll be back in a minute.
Okay. Sorry.
Load it up. Still finding the optimal speed for doing this. I think the first time I did it too thin. I dropped off after Voice for Pele, but the first two albums I know are pretty amazing.
Brought a little instrument.
Oh yeah?
Yes, Chaos Later, you know? This thing.
Can I hook this up? Yeah. What do you need?
Just like speakers or an amp or something. That's all.
I've got the one on the desk and this little baby thing.
Whichever is better.
The big one's more reliable and
okay, sure.
Sounds better. The little one I bought I actually took that to Germany with me. That's the only reason I bought it.
Oh, you took that?
Yeah. Served me well. Just like $30.
Yeah, and
I play music out of I'm gonna play this. Wait.
So your camera's telling me to play on demand. Do you want like I've got a container.
Work with the wet sand and just build it up with drips. It's like a staple of my childhood. But I'm not very good at it anymore. I keep falling over. It's fun too because like the more you dig into this little hole, the more it like wants to eat away at the base. So you have to like be careful of how much you dig. You ever done one of these?
No, I've never seen that before, ever. That's cool though.
I used to just sit and make huge trenches and build these crazy drift caps. Haven't done done it in so long. And this is making me realize that I should do it more. I was kind of thinking you might even be able to do it with clay. You had it in the right state. I guess you didn't really have beaches in Ohio.
We do Lake Erie. Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah, this isn't far from Lake Erie. No, I'm just joking.
There you go. All right.
Rolling or something.
All right. Tell me about yourself. Is that too vague?
Not really. What is vague? No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, go into a philosophical tangent, please.
Tell me about myself. All right. Wyatt is a ceramic artist. Growing up in this little town, Ojai. Worked together with my parents on a lot of art. Been inspired by them pretty much my whole life. And I love Frisbee and the beach. Am I supposed to be getting deeper than this? Or?
No, it's great.
A lot of my work kind of deals with different techniques from different mediums all coming together in clay. Looking at different styles of like Italian glass blowing and then figuring out ways to work with the clay in order to make those kind of distinct forms. Using woodworking techniques to kind of reduce the clay into the very delicate shapes that end up making up most of my work.
What are those? What's the inspiration for those drill-like pieces that you do?
Oh, I've kind of just been a huge fan of sci-fi and futuristic things for most of my life. Watched a lot of Star Trek when I was a kid, so spaceships have been a pretty big influence. And engines, rotors, turbines. They kind of have this look about them where there's this implied function, but there's not really. They just kind of have to deal with these space-age sci-fi forms.
And then the challenge of creating them is kind of inspiring too, or is that my imagination?
Yeah. I mean, like working, like I said, with the reductive technique that helped me develop the goblets, that kind of also influenced those forms.
Is it a standard technique people do a lot, or is it?
I think I do it to an extreme, but it is a technique that's required in most pottery or clay working skills things. Yeah, it's something that a lot of people do, but it's kind of looked down upon. It's not really the fun part of working with clay, but I find the most joy doing that. So
that's cool.
A lot of people like to throw on the wheel, and I like to think of that as kind of the additive version of working with clay, and then I put it back on the wheel and carve, and that's kind of the reductive version. I've always been more attracted to that.
What about Frisbee? You just got back from Australia and you participated in a national tournament?
That I did, yeah. I was in Canberra as an artist in residence at a university, and then met up with some people who played in a Frisbee club, and they invited me to play a couple tournaments with them, the last one being a national tournament in Brisbane. So I flew up there and played with this team that I'd only known for about a month, and we ended up winning the tournament and bringing back the gold medal.
Where's the medal?
Oh, where is the medal?
Go get the medal.
Oh, this thing?
Oh, this old thing?
Yeah. I mean, it's no big deal. It's just, it's got some bite marks in it. But that was a pretty cool experience, just meeting up with a group of guys that was really fun to play Ultimate with and spend the weekend with, and then actually winning this tournament. One of the best parts about it was walking through the airport wearing our medals and getting high fives from security. What'd you win? Frisbee tournament.
What did you win?
You guys can play Frisbee for medals? Oh yeah, no idea. Yeah, so that was pretty freaking cool. That was a great part about going to Australia.
And then you made a shit ton of work.
I did make a shit ton of work. It's kind of continuing some of the forms and reductive techniques that I always use, but also employing some tools from the glass studio, from the cold working shop and kind of adding this softness and also this kind of extended geometry to the pieces that I hadn't really tried before. So I got to do a lot of experimentation by bringing my pieces into the glass workshop and using more techniques that aren't really relevant to ceramics. Well, I shouldn't say that. They are relevant, but I just hadn't tried them before, so I was learning a lot about different tools that I'd never used and the different textures and marks that they would make on the pottery that I was making. Well, it wasn't really even pottery, it was just kind of experimentation of form with new mark making and textures. So yeah, I made a lot of work and learned a lot about these new processes and got some really great results. It was actually a very successful showing when I had an exhibition and got rid of most of the work, didn't really bring too much of it back, but I did come back with the techniques and ideas, so that's kind of the thing that I can apply to everything else that I make from now on.
And you're going to Penland soon, right?
I am, yeah. Headed to Penland on in five days. And I'm going to be helping teach a class. I'm going to be a teaching assistant for Forrest Middleton, who works with a lot of image transfer techniques onto thrown vessels. And it's something I've always been pretty interested in trying. This is actually an example of one of his pieces. It's kind of got this nice oxide print pattern on it. It's really nice feel to it. It's kind of got this raw clay texture to it that I've always really enjoyed. I try and incorporate into my work. But some stuff that I've never really tried, and I'm very interested to try and incorporate into my stuff.
Cool.
And of course it's functional.
You got anything else going on the rest of the summer?
Oh, I do actually, yeah. We have my parents, like I said, they're both artists, and we have a show coming up in August, so we're going to do a lot of collaborative pieces, stuff that we've never really tried before. So there's going to be work from my dad, work from my mom, work from myself, and then kind of a mixture of all three.
Oh, cool.
And we're pretty excited about that. So we've started to brainstorm about different collaborations and different installations in the actual space. So we've been getting pretty excited about that for the last since I got back from Australia about a month ago. And that show is coming up in August, beginning of August. So we got a lot of work to do before that.
Where's that?
It's in Camarillo, which is, hour and 20 minutes from Los Angeles. So it's going to be cool because my parents are really connected down in Los Angeles, and they're going to bring up a bunch of their collector friends and curators and gallery people, all that jazz, and I'll bring a bunch of my hooligan friends from Ojai, and it should be a good time.
Sweet. You guys have started working on a lot of that work already, or is it stuff you've already made?
Yeah, some of it's still in the thought process, but we've begun to work on quite a few pieces. My dad is a painter, and when you work with glaze, you're essentially painting glaze onto a ceramic form. So I'm going to try and teach him how to work with my material. And then on the other hand, my mom is a glass artist who paints on glass with different types of enamels, and so we're incorporating that into my work because glaze is essentially glass once it's been fired. So it's kind of interesting to be like a ceramic gaffer or something for my mom, and then coordinating with my dad about what we're trying to do, which is still kind of up in the air.
So your mom gives you an idea of what shape to make? Is that what?
Yeah. I mean, sometimes I'll make forms and then just kind of give them to her. It's almost like a half and half. Because I make the form and finish it with the glaze, and then I kind of like the idea of being done with the piece once that happens, and then her taking over, doing her thing. It's like we're both just doing our thing on the pieces, but sometimes it's a little more complicated than that. She needs more info for some of the work that she does. So, yeah. Some of it's in progress right now. and then other pieces, some larger forms that we're still trying to figure out the kinks and the installation techniques are still, those are still underway. Haven't really started some of those. So there's new work that's coming and work that we're working on right now.
Do you see yourself sticking around Ojai for a while, or? Just gonna go with the flow.
I'm pretty good at going with the flow, but I could see myself leaving at some point. I just got back from Australia for 3 months, and it was really great to kind of step outside the comfort zone, get away from the nest, and travel internationally. So it would be good to do that again and try and make something happen, stay somewhere after the opportunity has arisen.
Like out of the country, maybe, or?
I'd like to travel a lot more, but I haven't seen very much of the world at all. So I think some more exploring is needed before I decide what's actually going to happen, where I'm going to go. But near Penland, Asheville is a ridiculously cool city. I could see myself maybe transplanting there. And there's a huge potter tradition and community out there, so I feel like I could find a assistantship or some sort of job that pertains to what I'm good at doing.
Did you have like an original like mentor figure? Did you go to school for ceramics? I can't remember.
I did, yeah. I was lucky enough to go to an elementary school that had an art program, and so I got to play with clay when I was pretty young. And you could say I got molded almost like a piece of clay.
That's the cheesiest thing I've ever heard.
And then in high school I learned how to throw on the wheel, and I was pretty enamored by it. Just kind of loved the way that you could work with clay that way. Loving making symmetrical things. And then I went to school at Sonoma State University in Northern California and really just got along fantastically with my professor, and he kind of pushed me in all the right ways to refine and figure out what I was actually doing and what I wanted to do with clay. So I would thank Gregory Roberts, who was my professor in college.
To record here and move there.
Just whatever. Just enough, I guess. Alright, I'm gonna go for it.
Yeah, so there's a problem. When I move back, are you bleeding?
Am I? Perfect. We just got our logo made for some t-shirts. We're gonna try to give away for a Kickstarter.
Nice.
The Freelancers kind of started off as a compulsion for documentation. I had gotten a camera and I wanted to document the people I know and love and learn a bit more about myself through other people. And then I had all these friends who were freelancers, and then it stemmed into economic mobility and millennial generation struggles as well. But it's kind of like a romanticized look into the lives of people who are living passionate, creative lives, like altruistic, and yeah, I don't know. What do you have anything to add, Jay?
I think it's all been a positive experience for us and everybody involved. I think it's a lot of fun, just messing around with cameras, and it's being productive, and it's just a great way to spend time with people. I think not always though. And one thing that we've learned documenting is that all these moments and experiences in life are like really special, and it's hard to decide which moments to document.
Yeah.
And in California, in Pescadero, California, one of our episodes, we were joking around with this saying called ABC, always be clicking, clicking like the shutter of a camera.
Yeah, I think it's from an episode of Bob's Burgers.
Oh, okay, that's...
I love Bob's.
Yeah.
So many life lessons from Bob's.
Oh, definitely. But yeah, it's kind of like you want to get everything. When you start looking at stuff through a lens, you want to capture every moment and every memory and kind of create your memory instead of just remembering it, which can also be bad in some ways. You got to be selective. And in the beginning, when we started, if you had too much footage, there was too much to go through, and then it would take too long to actually release the episodes. So we had some rules in the beginning, and then it kind of fizzled out, and we just kind of went with the flow. And pretty much anything you put in a frame with intention looks pretty good. So it's.
And we come into it unplanned, usually,
Yeah.
Unscripted.
So how does the subject play a part in that, how the episode unfolds?
It's interesting because a lot of them become conscious of being recorded, which you think would be negative, but the more time you spend with them, the more they open up and kind of get into like a lighter mood, and you can kind of tell that they're kind of getting more confident, maybe, or like
that they forget about the camera, or at least they like become less nervous.
Like that moment of stage fright maybe has passed, and they're like, "Oh, okay, the camera's on, but nothing really has changed."
Yeah,
I guess because there are no consequences, because there's not like an audience or anything to give feedback.
Right.
So I guess after a while, people just start acting naturally after after it warms up or after the ice is broken.
And then you try to keep it light and humorous as well, and that gets a little strange too, because then you don't want to make fun of people, but you want it to be interesting. So then after the episode comes out, it's almost like I don't want to hear what they think about it, because if they don't like it, I'll be crushed. But most of the time, we get positive feedback. And it's not really like super glorified, like luxurious stuff. I mean, it's beautiful scenery and wonderful people. But we kind of developed a style that's a little more raw and can be considered amateur, because we are, after all, amateurs. So.
And ambiguous, because I don't know if we're trying to say anything. Usually documentaries have a theme or some kind of message that they want to send across, but for these ones it's more or less this underlying thing that goes unnoticed, maybe, just how a lot of people in our age interested in art and things are in a similar boat of economic hardship and kind of these like existential crisis of like a quarter life crisis or something similar to that. Getting
I can
ready
definitely
for
relate to that.
Yeah. What do you think, Luda? Do you have an idea? Do you have any philosophy in freelancers?
Well, I like that we all come from a mindfulness background, right? And we coincidentally had similar training, if you can call it that, right? We all learned from a person who influenced us pretty greatly, right? Marv Belzer kind of showed us the ropes for mindfulness, vipassana, and kind of just bringing awareness to the day-to-day. And for me, more than anything, I've always been obsessed with, I call it the quotidian, right? La vie quotidienne, right?
Did you say that on the air?
The daily life, the minutia of our everyday, right? Just the boring banality, right? The things that don't stand out. And that's what you learn, when you meditate, right? That the neutral moments are just as good as the highs and the lows, and that we kind of live our lives in the neutral moments. And if you're only aware of the highs and the lows, you're missing everything in between.
Yeah.
So I love that Freelancers captures that, the in-between, right? And the kind of the neutral, everyday moments of people's lives. It just so happens that they've all been fascinating, beautiful, talented artists, right? So their everyday is pretty incredible.
Yeah, well, I think anyone kind of living somewhat of a freelancer lifestyle or a creative lifestyle is interesting. I mean, people in general are just interesting. Like, I could do an episode on anybody and find something interesting about that person, and that's what's so vastly, I don't know, interesting. I said that like 5 times. What?
Interesting.
Interesting.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, maybe we'll take a quick break here and play some interesting music for you. Thanks for tuning in tonight on In Bloom and for your patience, you know, while we've had some kind of rough spots getting started. But that's kind of the perk of college radio, right? And
over the last year, I've really it's like become my car. And then we named it on that last trip. Did any of you guys have cash?
Some, yeah. Why?
We might need some. I don't know what goes on up here.
Okay.
My friend this painting probably smell like in the car. This one time we had to drive like 4 hours in the car with him after we rolled himself dead. It was so bad.
They get ticks out here?
I don't know, man.
That's probably safer. Ticks are not the high grasses, right? Usually.
Oh yeah, we're up like higher in elevation. What the hell is standing on here? Scare the shit out of this guy. What's up, Scary?
Alright.
This guy's done. I wonder if these look like they're kind of warping already.
They're warping?
A little bit, maybe.
It's been like misty all day and stuff, you know, and just like them leaning up a little bit.
You might have to like rotate them. I think these guys are done. I almost want to go over this one again. Bring it back into the mix. I don't want to hop in the shower. Anyone need a bath? ABC. ABC. That's good. Good stuff. There's good stuff right there. Good stuff. Good stuff.
Born and raised in Kansas City, Tyler Kimball has returned home after 17 years away, which he has spent developing skills and appreciation for the fine art of glassblowing. He has worked for various studios, artists, and facilities in many forms. Also, during this time, his work has grown in stature, being shown in galleries internationally and featured in many museums and private collections. Kimball is proud to bring his love of glass to Kansas City in the form of Monarch Glass Studio.
Just like El Camino, El Camino, El Camino, El Camino, baby, El Camino, El Camino, El Camino, El Camino. Said the front is where you ride and the back is where you fuck. It's kinda like a car, but it's kinda like a truck. The front is where you ride and the back is where you fuck. It's kinda like a car, but it's kinda like a truck. El Camino, El Camino, El Camino, El Camino, baby, El Camino, El Camino, El Camino, El Camino, baby. Oh no, hell no, look at that Elko. Dude rolls up, elbow out the window. Beat every single level on Nintendo. Yo, hey, for real though, every single level? Yeah, man, in general, like El Camino, El Camino, El Camino, El Camino, baby, El Camino, El Camino, El Camino, El Camino, baby. The front is where you ride and the back is where you fuck. It's kinda like a car, but it's kinda like a truck. The front is where you ride and the back is where you fuck. It's kinda like a car, but it's kinda like a truck. Elko, hotter than a Lambo, hotter than a Geo Metro. It's true because I said so. He's true because he's bled so. And I would throw 1,000,000 passes. Interception, hell no, because I'm in that Elko. El Camino, El Camino, El Camino, El Camino, baby. El Camino, El Camino, El Camino, the front is where you ride and the back is where you fuck. It's kinda like a car, but it's kinda like a truck. The front is where you ride and the back is where you fuck. It's kinda like a car, but it's kinda like a truck. El Camino, El Camino, El Camino, El Camino, baby, El Camino, El Camino, El Camino, El Camino, baby. Tank tops cut off, pulled up to the car wash. Hotter than a latte coming straight out of Starbucks. And I'm so fresh, so clean, but y'all know the biz, bro. Roll up in that Elko with more subs than Quizno. El Camino, El Camino, El Camino, El Camino, baby, El Camino, El Camino, El Camino, El Camino, baby. Kinda like a truck, but it's kinda like a car. And I kinda like the fuck when I get out of the bar.
wish I could give you something big and profound, but I don't. It's not. You know. It's not me. I don't have that. A lot of my influences just come from experiences and hanging out with people that, you know, do the art like you. I just get really inspired by like watching people right in front of me, not the, you know, I can't relate to really famous artists as much as like watching you paint.
It's the economy, man. That's what bugs me, dude.
Are you thinking like it's time to like make a change, or what are you thinking, you know, about the economy?
For me?
Yeah.
I'm just trying to like figure out how people like us can get on top, you know, and like support each other. I feel like we could all come together and like combine forces and create like one big sustaining thing. So I'm like trying to create this archive for people who create like work that might go unnoticed because no one really gives a shit until it's too late, you know?
Yesterday somebody take it. We lost one flag.
No way.
Yeah. Okay, take it.
Of course, man.
like a list of what businesses are participating and what artists are showing up. It's a fun.
No, I'm gonna use this bag.
Oh, you're not. No worries.
Like a year and a half ago, and I never sent it to him, and he came out, and I gave it to him, and we took it to every campsite with us, and we hung it up. And it was like our little flag. It was like this cartoon octopus. His name was Trent.
The octopus?
Yeah. And that's like just what made us name like everything. Oh, I forgot. I got Barry in here.
Is that Barry?
This is Barry. He's a true chiller. You got the chills right in here. Left side, right side, upside. We got it all. It's like still green up there. If we go underneath, you can tickle the balls right here.
His big old dang.
You just hang out underneath it. The fountain, yeah.
The dong.
There's some redwood graffiti.
Still can't see it.
Thank you very much. I'm playing the solo.
That's perfect.
Heart and soul into my music, and I think it shows. It's pretty good, Born and raised in England, just a boy in the States. Loves rock and roll. Check it, everybody! Neil Diamond don't got shit on me.
Neil Diamond.
just love. So what do you make of that, John?
fucking sea anemone. This is some seaweed.
See that tree back there? Yeah, that was gnarly. It's like strong winds too. You wanna get on first? Sure.
Are consistently single-family housing now. So if we want racially and economically diverse neighborhoods with more affordable and diverse housing types, we need to open up more of our single-family zones.
I'd like to play a call from a listener we put out over the last 24 hours, our voicemail number, and ask people what they thought about the possibility of these draft rules. This is what one person said.
My name is Michael Fine. I'm calling from Portland, Oregon. Given the fact that the projections are that the population here in Portland will grow,
Nope. I mean they do, but you don't want to eat there.
Dave's not drinking.
Well, let's go somewhere that has food then. We could. What kind of food they want to eat?
Family of super rose and
cool. Well, put you somewhere. It's like I'm going crazy. I think I'm going crazy.
Very exciting. You guys got bagels and stuff?
We did have bagels.
Good. Come on. Come on.
Sent out a bunch to Brooklyn, actually.
Upper body muscles.
Yep. Ask you something?
Mm-mm.
Okay, hold on to your butts. This would be enough to probably fill a bottle of wine. I mean, we're just making minuscule adjustments, I guess.
Orca whale's like Free Willy.
I was like, I don't want to be an artist. I just want to be.
It's a little thin. Can give it a couple minutes.
That's a liquidy plaster you got there.
Nothing I can't fix with. It's more plaster, I guess.
piece?
Yeah, your log is really nice.
There we go. Now we got something going, guys.
Yeah.
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 Full soul.
Yeah. Yeah. Pocket full.
This is living the dream right now.
I'm telling you.
We should have gone to Black.
That shit looked fucking terrible.
I haven't even seen it, so I can't tell you like how
It's a Bjork song. Let's just put it that way.
What's wrong with Bjork?
Nothing.
What did it look like?
It looked like a black lake. I was like, he wants to swim in there?
I don't know. Well, yeah, why not?
He's
It'd be a lot of fun.
He's calling it.
That's pretty neat.
Yeah.
Crack in a bag. You can always trim and tiny it.
Will you put this back in your tent then?
Sure.
Cool. Hertzfeldt's rejected cartoons.
Oh, the best.
I'm a consumer whore. And how?
My spoon is too big.
And now angry ticks are firing from my nipples.
My spoon is too big. I am a banana. My anus is bleeding. My anus is bleeding. Silly Hat Club.
He could probably be as involved or not involved as he wanted, but if he's interested at all, I could take him away with that.
Ready? Let's put it on the rock.
Like, that was honestly one of the best experiences I had of like kind of.
That was quick and easy.
Like treated him, but.
You did it, bud.
Plan.
Submergible. Okay. And then what's in it?
Christian and I were wondering, like. I do, yeah. It's all up here, baby.
Is it JB?
Jason J. JB. I think that makes sense. J.
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 No,
and JB.
That's
Call me Nicholas.
JB. No.
Papa.
That's what stands for dog. No, but that's what Riz.
Bob Ross.
One more serious face. Ready? Serious face.
Sing it to you. The neighbors are gonna judge me.
What are you looking at? You're trying no prize.
That's Goodfellas. Not Goodfellas.
Now what?
Casino.
Do you want to peel some of it?
Oh, yeah.
We're gonna throw some of them with the chicken. So he gets,
Who wants to help me?
yeah.
Watch out, baby.
Well, I guess that is, I don't really know who I am, I guess. I mean, in a sense, I think that's what I'm always trying to figure out.
Well, that's what freelancers is about. That's what it is.
Okay.
It's like people who are trying to figure out like what they're going to be doing for the rest of their lives. Like,
Okay.
We're in that we're in the cusp, you know, of like.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know if I'll ever know. I mean, I like,
maybe that's
it's kind of scary, you know. For some people, they need a plan of action and kind of. But I mean, I don't know. It's sort of a carefree lifestyle. Like I don't really.
You like your job?
Yeah, I do. Yeah.
You like your job? You're in a band, like.
Yeah, I mean that's.
Tomorrow. Right?
That's really all it is though. And it goes, can you play some of this? If it goes.
You think you could like, you know that other part you did, or that other song you did? Maybe if you like added that in there, we could just do this really long thing. Like maybe like do 2 songs that were like really long and then that's it. And just like vamp out. And you could do.
helps to write things down. We almost wrote it down, right?
I think we did almost write it down.
I think we did almost write it down. It's like, now we gotta remember. Now we gotta remember if we almost wrote it down. Did we do? We're gonna spend this whole time first to think about. Oh boy.
That's fun. I guess we didn't write it down.
Yeah, it's
So, communities or food.
yeah, the place that food has in the world. What is food?
The place that food has in the world?
Yeah, like what is its function? What purpose? How do people use food? How is food different across people?
Well, I definitely feel like as much as I like good food, like I definitely feel myself gravitating just as somebody who puts my own food together for myself as being less culinary and more like tonic. So like I'll eat things that I guess a lot of things I do put together, like a pizza.
Welcome back to In Bloom here on WBGU FM 88.1 in Bowling Green, Ohio. I'm here with Jason Bauer and Jason Kane.
Hello.
Hey guys.
Hello. Again.
Yeah, here we are. I think we're doing a Facebook Live video.
Yeah, check us out on Facebook.
Check us out on Facebook, Freelancers Doc. Also, In Bloom Radio, we're kind of just reposting everything with each other and taking photos of each other and videos. It's very intense in here. But we're talking about the Freelancers documentary series and why we all have decided to do this thing together. And so far we've accomplished that we like everyday life and everyday moments, and we're all kind of drawn to those.
People, I like people.
People, yeah. Anything else? The common denominator here?
Scenery and places, and traveling.
So now that you're in the Midwest, how's that changing, right? There's no ocean here, you're not in the mountains.
It's still beautiful. One of the most beautiful places we went on our road trip was to see Robert Birch in Colorado, Carbondale, Colorado, actually, and that was one of the more pretty stops we made. And granted, the ocean's not around, and the ocean kind of helps, you know. But,
yeah. Nice B-roll.
Yeah, exactly.
Hey, did you bring the drone? Is it broken?
Jay, did you bring the drone?
Didn't bring the drone.
That was my favorite promo. What was it called? Practicing flying the drone.
Oh, I don't even know if it had a name.
That was one of the first promos you did, and I was so excited. I think that was before you asked me to be a part of the project.
I think it was Freelancers Get a Drone. We just had like a picture of us looking
and
at
crashed
it. Like, curious.
All confused, yeah.
And then in Tyler's episode, we had it. It got caught by the wind and took a spill, and we just put it in the video because we're including all the documentation. We might as well.
And we nicknamed it Mr. Bill from like an old SNL skit or something. I don't know, like a claymation figure.
Mr. Bill. Oh no.
Yeah, so he gets thrown. Oh no.
He would always like get caught in sticky situations.
Getting stuck in trees and things.
Isn't that from South Park?
Is that South Park?
That's what I call a sticky situation.
Oh, I don't
and
know.
they all fall into the ice cream? No? Anyone?
I don't know about that one.
Yeah,
if you
could
know that episode, you can call us in the studio at 419-372-8810. Also, if you've liked one of the 5 songs maybe that I've played today, I can tell you the information about the tracks you heard, including the album and artist, and a little bit about them if you are so inclined. That's 419-372-8810. someday I feel like I'm going to forget that number and just go to say it, and nothing will come out.
I feel like I'd say my own number instead, and then people would call it my own phone.
It's like that dream I used to have in high school about not knowing my locker combination.
Oh my god, I had that dream all the time.
You get up there and you're...
Yeah.
And it's like muscle memory almost after a while.
I stopped locking mine. I wouldn't even go to it like my senior year because I didn't have enough books, but I was like, what if I had something in there and I couldn't get in there?
I remember we would like write numbers and at different places. You know, you can't write the locker combination like right all together, you know, so we'd have like maybe 3 hiding spots for the numbers in like corners, you know, and then that would
like a
help.
Scavenger hunt to like figure out what your combination
So
was.
you don't even need to remember the combination. You have to remember like which locker or like brick or like water fountain you wrote the combination on.
It's like a treasure you have to find. Scavenger hunt.
Yeah. We're getting a little zoned out here, I think.
Do I have a good radio voice?
I think so.
Yeah, I think Jay has a really, really good
Jay,
radio voice.
I have to say, Jay has the best voice out of all 3 of us. He has an amazing voice.
Oh my god,
it's a really good voice. I hope I'm not making you blush.
Oh no.
He's turning red. I'm turning red just thinking about it.
People tell me they like my voice, and when I hear myself, I don't like it.
I like your voice. I think it's great.
Thank you. I appreciate
That's
that.
why we chose you to narrate Freelancers.
Not my charming personality.
Well, that too.
It's the whole package.
Yeah,
and
the whole
speaking of packages, there's this package outside.
Oh yeah. Okay, we'll go do that on the break.
All right.
And then we'll tell you what we did.
Oh, there you go.
I think we should play some more music because officially this is my Pitchfork Festival preview that I promised the Pitchfork PR people I would do in exchange for my ticket. So here we go. I think I'll play a song from Blood Orange. They're going to be at Pitchfork, and they're one of my favorite new artists. Not necessarily new, but have released a new album over the past 2 years. And they just dropped an album the past week, and it is very, very good. I couldn't recommend it more. So this is Best to You by Blood Orange from the album Freetown Sound. Thanks for tuning in to In Bloom here on WBGU FM, and I'm here with the Freelancers. Check us out online in the meantime, facebook.com/freelancersdoc, hashtag freelancersdoc.
Yeah, we're live on Facebook.
And we are live on Facebook. All right, here's Blood Orange.
So I guess we can cuss now, but it's going to be on Facebook. I don't know.
Huh?
So we can cuss now, but it'll be on Facebook.
As long as the mics aren't on, we can cuss. Although I try to, I've got that one-track mind. If I turn it on a little bit, it might stay on later.
I would be nervous all the time. I used to do radio, like Sunday programming.
Yeah?
In Piqua, Ohio.
Piqua, where Alex is from.
Exactly. But I didn't grasp the concept that they had to be played at a certain time because people were tuning in at this time, so I would just lump them all together and play them and then take a piss. People would be calling and like, oh, it's
I love it. This is my jam. This is going to be a good show. Make sure it's clean. There's one thing about being in the studio. You hear the sound split on different audio channels, and I don't know like the technical language to describe this, but a lot of tracks like this, you can hear like part of it there and then here, right?
Oh, that's because when they produce it, it's like that?
Yeah, so it's a richer sound.
Yeah. The weird thing in this mic, it sounds like my thing's peaking, so I want to like back up my mic's peaking.
I'm watching it.
It's not?
No. I'm kind of keeping the levels middle because you're a little lower, and I can control, like I can bring you down when it gets in the red, but we've all been good. I like to have it kind of a higher end here, but it's fine. I'll go grab that package. Yeah?
Cool, yeah.
All right, cool.
All right.
All right, what do I have next?